Okay, so that's the Jmac FRD in the 7.5-inch 7.62 by 3.9. I'm going to be firing this fast because I've noticed that if there's going to be a flash, it's going to be even brighter if I shoot faster. Okay, so that's the Radical Firearms Spitfire, 11.5-inch in the 5.56. So like I could see like zero flash on this thing when I was shooting. Okay, so this is the 5.56 and the 13-inch with the Core Valley linear comp. You can definitely see the flash on that. Hello everyone, so we're going to do a little bit more testing today with this Jmac FRD flash reduction device. I did a video yesterday. I was essentially testing it on the same gun. This is a an AR-47. Okay, so this is a 7.5-inch AR that shoots AK ammo, right? Shoots 7.62 by 3.9. So yesterday I was kind of going back and forth between the FRD, right, the Jmac FRD, and just a standard A2 bird cage. And what I found is that this is just a tiny bit quieter, almost unnoticeable, but it's a tiny bit quieter. And when I shot it at night, there was a little bit less flash. There was still flash in the 7.5-inch barrel. Good chance that if I put it like in the 10 or 11-inch barrel, that flash won't be there. But in the 7.5-inch barrel, there was some flash. Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to test it against my Radical Firearm Spitfire. Okay, so this also has the internal cone. This one over here is a little bit heavier. At night when I shoot this doesn't have any flash. I think it's a little bit quieter. Now, part of that might be because, most likely because this is an 11.5-inch barrel, so there's time for a little bit more of a complete burn. However, this is a 5.56 gun. Okay, so this is 11.5 inches in a 5.56 gun. So this is just a comparison of two things that are like really not equal. Okay, so just so we know what we're looking at. I'm trying to figure out if the 7.62 by 3.9 in the 7.5-inch is quieter or about the same as a 5.56 in an 11.5-inch gun. And I'm also going to do some night testing to kind of look at the flash as well. Okay, so let's test this out. I have the little cushions in. Okay, so on this 11.5-inch, this used to be where I had, like, I couldn't shoot this 11.5-inch with just the ear cushions. I had to actually have earmuffs because it was too uncomfortable. Two things I did to quiet this gun down is I put the Radical Firearms Spitfire device on it, but also, and quite possibly even more importantly, I put an adjustable gas block. So I have this tuned down to the minimal so that the bolt carrier starts moving back a little bit slower and basically more of the noise goes out the front rather than out of the ejection port. Okay, so I've reduced the port pop. So with the other one, with the 762 by 39, this one, this is already like gassed all the way down. I didn't have to put an adjustable gas block on this. This has a 3.8 ounce buffer weight on this, and yesterday we were failing to get locked back on some of the rounds. In the summertime, it was working fine. It's just that right now it's like 20 degrees, okay? Yesterday was even colder. It was like 15 degrees yesterday. But it's 20 degrees, and because it's getting a little bit colder, basically the gun is basically 20 degrees. The ammunition that's going into it is 20 degrees. And what we saw yesterday when it was 15 degrees, and everything was 15 degrees, is that the gun was not locking back on the last round. So that's 100% because of the cold. I mean, it hasn't affected the lubrication. That's not sticking. I basically use motor oil. Basically, oils intended for engines tend to be amongst the best and best developed oils. Okay, so motor oil, a good option. So anyway, let's try this out. And I just give you guys my opinion as I'm doing it. No lock back. We expected that. So with the cushions, it's like in the 7.5 inch barrel with the 7.62 by 39. I mean, it's like it's right there at that edge where, yeah, I can shoot it with the cushions and it's kind of okay. It's like right at the edge of starting to get really annoying, and I'd rather have earmuffs. All right, so I'm gonna shoot 5.56 now in the 11.5 inch, and again, let's see how this feels to. Okay, definitely a lot more pleasant to shoot, and again, things that are different here: 11.5 inches versus 7.5 inches. Radical firearm Spitfire. It's got that internal cone like the Jmac FRD. It does seem to be a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, maybe. I mean, it's definitely heavier. I don't remember what the weight is, but it's definitely a little bit heavier. But also, it's got the adjustable gas block. That shouldn't be an issue because both of these guns are gassed down like all the way. Like that one over there is gassed down so low that we're not locking back on the last round. Okay, so they're both. I mean, like the gassing is not an issue. Part of the issue is probably the barrel length. But the 5.56 that's in this gun is also just naturally louder, okay, versus 7.62 in the shorter barrel, because the 7.62 by 39 is going to get more of a complete burn, okay? So even though this is in a shorter barrel here, even though the 7.62 by 39 was in a shorter barrel, it's probably getting more of a complete burn just because of the nature of that type of ammunition. The slower bullet, it's a heavier bullet, right? It's coming out of the barrel a little bit slower, so the gunpowder has a little bit more time to burn behind it, okay? So anyway, let's try the other one here. This one here is also a 5.56, but this is a 13 inch, and this has the Core Valley linear comp, okay? So this one's by far is the cheapest. This one is like $35, maybe $50, depending on when you're buying it. Attackfire makes a version of this that's like $20. I've bought it as cheap as $10, and that's what I have on this 13 inch, and it quiets it down enough that I can comfortably shoot it. Let me shoot it now. They kind of share the lower here. Take this lower out. All right, so again, we're shooting, this is a 5.56 gun, 13-inch barrel with the Corvallis linear comp. Let's see how this one feels to my ears. A little brighter. Much louder. So this one is definitely louder than the Radical firearms. So both of these are 5.56. This one is 11.5 inches, right? You would think that it's quieter, right? You would think that the 13 inches is quieter, but because of the linear comp on here, this gun, the longer gun, is actually louder. Okay, so the Radical firearms is working really well here. Comparing the Jmac FRD to the Corvallis linear comp, so we're talking $150 versus like $35 to $50. 7.5 inch barrel, 13-inch barrel. I think they're about the same. They seem like they were about the same. Different ammunition though, right? So we said 7.62 by 3.9 versus 13-inch barrel here. They were about the same. I'm going to shoot these two guns one more time. Hold on. I feel you. Let me pause the camera. Let me load up another mag. All right, we're going to shoot the 13-inch with the Corvallis linear comp first. 5.56. Yeah, this one's louder. Okay, yeah, the 7.62 in the 7.62 by 3.9 in the 7.5 inch, even with the Jmac FRD, is louder than the 5.56 in the 13-inch with the Corvallis. Now, again, you might say, I mean, I'm comparing things that aren't equal. You know what? These are the guns that I have. These are the choices that I would have to choose between, and basically, you know, I got to know which gun is the loudest, which gun is the most comfortable to shoot if I don't have ear protection on, good ear protection on, and then I also need to know which one's going to flash the more if I'm shooting at night. So this is me choosing between the guns that I have. As far as length, that's the length difference, right? That's the 13-inch. That's the 7.5 inch, 7.62 by 3.9. So the this one over here with the Jmac basically comes up to the end of the rail over here. So that's the length difference. So the thing I'm trying to decide is, hey, would I be better off using this option here or this option here? At the moment, I think I'd be better off using this one. However, we're gonna shoot this at night. This is a flamethrower at night. I've already seen this shoot at night. I posted in the video. This does, you know, this has a flash, but the flash is nowhere near what the flash is on this. So that's the other thing that we're gonna see. Hey, so while we're waiting for it to get dark, I want to give you guys a closer look at my 11.5 inch. This is a Palmetto, and I have I mean, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the best option for me with the things I have over here, because like I said, I've already shot the Jmac here at night on that 7.62 by 3.9, and I know it produces a flash. this 11.5 inch with that Radical Firearms Spitfire, which is basically the same thing. It's got like that cone shape on. It's the quietest, and you know, I've had this gun out to 500 yards. I think I've been able to get like inside of 20-inch targets. I think I was getting like a 15-inch group at 500 yards. So I've got it set up with a Holosun 503G. This has the ACSS reticle, so it has like basically a bullet drop compensator. So with the 6x magnifier, right, it's the Vortex 6x, I can get out to 500 yards and reliably make combat accurate hits. Okay, and then I've got here the light on the right side with the pressure pad over here. Really important I have a cover on it because at night if you hit that switch, I do hit often because the rail is so short. So every time I hit this, right, you see how that doesn't blind me at night. So I have to like remove this in order to be able to use this. So that's an important feature of this. I would much rather have this light on this side over here without the pressure pad at all. Just have a button switch on the back. But the problem is that the sling is on this side. So there's not enough room on this side for the for the sling and the light and my hand. So that's why I'm kind of forced to put it on the other side and use the pressure pad. And the nice thing about the 11.5 inches is that I can also carry a bipod on this. It's a quick detach, so I can get it off really fast if I want to lighten the gun up. But at the same time, I can keep it on there. And because the gun's 11.5 inches, it's I can still handle it with one hand. I can pick it up. So it's really easy because this is short. I can pick it up one-handed like this, camera in the other hand, right? And it's manageable. If that was a 16-inch barrel, with all that stuff at the end over there, light, bipod, it wouldn't be as manageable with one hand. So I suspect, because I suspect if I, because that Jmac is not going to fit on here because that's for a 7.62 by 3.9. I suspect if I put that Jmac on an 11.5 inch barrel, that I would have similar results. And what I'm going to do is I have ordered a 5.56 version of the Jmac. That should be here within 2 weeks, and we're going to put that on this 13-inch barrel. And we're going to see if we see an improvement. Because this 13-inch is definitely louder than the 11.5 inch over there because of the muzzle device, right? That's just a better muzzle device. So I want to see if I put a Jmac FRD on this. Is this 13-inch now going to be as quiet or quieter than this 11.5 inch over here that has the muzzle device on the end over there?